Hello and welcome back to the Code Me Event channel. We are going to take a look at the specific instructions in a GitHub Action file for the Test2 harness UI Perl module. The reason here is that in an earlier video I sent an earlier pull request I sent to a couple of projects. Some people asked, said that they will integrate it once they understand how to use it, and I would like to give a little bit of details about that also, and of course we can use it in this module. So if you look at the screen, you will see this module, which is called the Test2 harness UI, which is a web interface for the output of test logs in Perl. And as a test module itself, it also comes with its own tests, which are being executed when a new release is published on cpan, and then the cpan testers, this group of volunteers, automatically run all the tests of this module after a delay, after a couple of hours, couple of days delay on various platforms, which is great. But having any kind of CI system, and because this project is on GitHub, then the obvious choice is GitHub Actions. So having that will reduce the feedback cycle. So you can configure, first of all, you can configure whatever you like, the way you would like to test it, and you will receive feedback immediately once you push out any changes. So you don't have to wait for a release or till the cpan testers, the machines configured by the cpan testers run. It's also, you can configure, and then what we'll see, you can configure it to run on every pull request. So every person who contributes to it can immediately see, within a few minutes, can see if the changes they made, if they have broken any of the tests you already had. And so that's a really good thing. So what we go with, in here, you can go to the somewhere there is a link to the repository of this package, but I already forked it, and I have this page open to the file that configures GitHub Actions. So as a module author, or as a project author, you don't really need to understand at this point anything about GitHub Actions, because whatever is written here is going to be executed automatically, and you will get an email if some of the commands here fails. And then you can go to the website of GitHub Actions, or GitHub inside the GitHub Actions page, and see all the outputs. So you will see what went wrong. But basically, it's just running your code on a machine of by GitHub. The file is inside the project. You need to create a git.github and then the workflows directory. And inside there you can put in any YAML file. The name of the YAML file doesn't really matter. The extension can be YML, and I think it can also be YAML. I haven't checked it recently. But anyway, so you have a file name. And then inside the file, you have the instructions. The first one is the name. You have to give a name. The actual name doesn't matter, but the field name has to be there. Then you need to give some kind of triggers. So there are various ways to trigger these jobs to run. And here in this one, I added push and pull requests. So every time you push out anything on any branch, basically, and every time there is a pull request, this job will run. And you can have actually multiple of these files if you are interested, but in our case, we'll just have one file. And in that file, so you have what trigger, and you can have various jobs in that file. In this case, so the jobs is a keyword of GitHub Actions. The name of the job, of this job, which is test in this case, is some arbitrary text. So you decide what you would like to call, and you can have several jobs here. Now inside this job, you can, and in this case we added some kind of a strategy. And in the strategy, what we have here is, first of all, or that's the second part, but that's the first we have to think about, is a matrix of various variable names. So the runner and Perl, these are just, I came up with these names. They're quite common, but these are just variable names. So these are free text, basically. And then you can give them a list of values. So for runner, there are actually, I think, three possible values. Maybe there are more, but I haven't checked it. So Ubuntu, Mac OS, or Windows. In this case, I commented out the last two, and only have in the list Ubuntu latest. And in the Perl variable, again, this is a list, so you can put various versions numbers there. I put it only 532. Later, these variables are going to be used to tell on which platform to run the tests and on which version of Perl. We'll see that soon. And the fail fast false, meaning so fail fast means that if any of the jobs, well, here we have in the matrix we have only 1 times 1, so there's going to be 1 running. But if we had like many versions of Perl and maybe many operating systems, then the multiplication of the two is the number of jobs that can run in parallel, or it depends on GitHub Actions, how you translate. But it can run in parallel. And the fail fast means, the true would mean that if any of the jobs runs and fails, then all the others will not run till the end. So we won't, if any job fails, the rest will be cancelled, basically. In this case, we have false, so meaning that every job will try to run till the end. So we'll get report for all of the jobs, maybe all of them failure. So that's the strategy. Runs on is how we define which platform to use. And here you could put Ubuntu latest, or, and what we are doing here, we are using the variable runner from the matrix, okay, from this matrix, to decide what is the platform to run. So that's the way that here we define the list of possible values, and here we're using that variable. The name is just some free text, in which, in our case, it's using again the variable names from the runner and Perl and the Perl version. Then come the steps. So there are going to be several steps in this job. The first step just tells it to clone the current repository. So check out the current repository. It's basically creating a clone on the machine of GitHub Actions. The second step has a name. Okay, it's just free text. It uses some external GitHub Actions tool, let's say, or action, whatever. And this one is installing the correct version of Perl. So it should receive some value to the Perl version, where you could write it here, the version number of Perl. But in our case, we have a more flexible way using the variable coming from this matrix. So GitHub Actions will use all the values that are listed here one by one to run several jobs. And here just another flag, another condition doesn't really matter for now. The next step, sorry, this one, the next step is, it has a name on, of course, and something to be executed. It just shows the version number of Perl. So later on, if you need to check, you can see what was the exact version number of Perl, because it won't be exactly 532. It's going to be the latest from the 532 series, I guess. But that's the useful way to see what was exactly used. Then come the installations. So we just check out what is the version of we check what is the version of cpanm, and this installation of Perl comes with cpanm. That's an advantage here. And then we install all the dependencies of this package. Now I'm using the install deps flag of cpanm. Now I'm using also no test, because I don't want to waste basically time running all the tests of all the dependencies every time this job runs, because it just takes time and it's not that interesting at this point. Of course, you can remove this flag if you prefer, and it will take longer time, but you will make sure that the dependencies were all tested before you test your software. And then the last step in our job is the name is just run tests, and here we have the regular three steps of running the tests, so running the Perl makefile PL, then make and make test. Of course, you could separate these steps. The advantage of separating is that you will be more fine-tuned when you get the error report. So maybe if the Perl makefile PL fails and it's in a separate step, then it might be more useful for you. but it's also good to have them together. So basically, that's it. That's the configuration. Of course, there are plenty other configuration options that you can use in GitHub Actions, but you don't really need to know in order to start to use it, because you just accept the pull request or put this file into your Git repository, push it out, and then GitHub Actions automatically will start to run it on every push and every pull request event, and will send you an email. So that's it basically for this, and I'm going to send in a pull request with this. So thank you for watching this video. I really hope that I managed to explain it, what the configuration file has in it, and why to use some kind of a CI system, some kind of a continuous integration system, and in this case, GitHub Actions. If you like the video, then please press the like button and make sure that you follow the channel so you will get the new videos as I create them. Also, if you're interested in direct links to the repositories, you will find them below the video here in YouTube. So thank you for watching, and see you at next time, at the next video.